A fisherman took a straw boat into the middle of the Pacific Ocean to fish. Not long after casting his net, a strong force suddenly pulled from below. During the struggle, the fisherman accidentally fell into the water from pulling too hard, but he didn't rush back to the boat. He wanted to retrieve his fishing net first. What he didn't know was that beneath the calm surface, a threat beyond human understanding was waiting. The fisherman had no clue. He saw the net tangled on some rocks, so he pulled out a knife to cut it free, not noticing that the light around him was slowly fading. By the time he realized something was wrong, millions of fish had gathered above him, and he was completely surrounded. There was no room to escape. The hunter had now become the prey. The fisherman's fate was sealed, but even stranger things were about to happen. A dead orca washed up on shore. Its horrifying wounds showed it hadn't died naturally.
You think they're bite marks?
What's gonna bite an orca?
Experts were even more confused. Normally, during this season, large numbers of humpback whales would migrate to the area, but recently, not a single whale had been seen. Something clearly wasn't right. The next day, Kit picked up large whale signals on sonar, so he rushed out in a speedboat. A humpback whale suddenly appeared beside him. It seemed to stop in front of Kit on purpose, and stared straight at him, but thankfully, the whale didn't act aggressively. After a few seconds, it dove back into the deep. Just as Kit was trying to follow, he saw a pod of orcas heading toward a tourist boat. Thinking of the dead orca from yesterday, Kit had a bad feeling. The tourists had no idea what was coming. They were excited, watching humpbacks splash in the water, but they didn't notice another whale had gone under their boat. Suddenly, it charged upward. The smiles vanished instantly. Before they could react, the humpback had split the boat in two. Strangely, the whale left without attacking the people in the water. Meanwhile, the orcas were speeding toward them. What was terrifying was that the whales seemed to be working together. Their timing was perfect, as if something was commanding them. Even Kit, a whale expert, had no idea how to explain this. He decided to take some barnacle samples for testing. That's when he discovered the truth. Inside the barnacles, he found a completely unknown fungus. Hoping for answers, he dissected the orca that washed up on shore and found the same fungus in its brain. This led Kit to suspect the fungus was causing the strange whale behavior. Following the clues, he mapped out the attack locations and discovered they matched the whale's migration route. The source of the fungus had to be along that path. The next day, Kit and his team began tracking the humpbacks. To be safe, he waited until they were sleeping to move in. But even then, facing such giant creatures floating in the deep, he couldn't stop shaking. He moved carefully, afraid to wake them, but something went wrong. Just as Kit was placing a tracking camera, the whales suddenly woke up. His heart nearly stopped. Luckily, they didn't attack. Instead, they all swam to the surface at once. Kit quickly ditched his gear and swam as fast as he could, barely reaching the boat before they attacked. Days later, Kit reviewed the camera footage in shock. The humpbacks weren't swimming randomly. They were moving in perfect formation, diving deeper and deeper. But humpbacks need to surface every 10 minutes, so it was impossible, unless something in the deep was calling to them. Sure enough, as the whales dove, they discovered a strange, white light in the darkness. It was glowing and giving off a weird sound. When the whales reached the light, they stopped, floating quietly in place, as if worshipping the light. The screen froze on that moment. The researchers were baffled, because no known deep-sea creature could produce such strong light, let alone such powerful sound waves.